Hey friends, welcome back to Becoming with Ketney. If you're anything like me, you've probably had moments where the thought of being seen, like really seen, makes you hesitate. Whether it's sharing your ideas, speaking up in a room, or letting people know the real you beyond the polished version. And that can be and feel very exposing and vulnerable, especially when you're used to being the one who observes, supports, or quietly does the work behind the scenes. On today's episode, this is for the ones who've ever dimmed their lights out of habit or fear. So let's talk about what it means to become comfortable with being seen. For the longest time, I thought blending in was safer. It felt easier to just do my part, stay humble, and let other people take up space. But deep down, there was always this quiet pull, like something in me wanted to be expressed, not for validation, but for alignment. And I think a lot of us can relate to that, especially if you grew up being told not to make too much noise, not to stand out too much, or to always be the good one. But, the truth is your presence, it isn't too much. Your perspective, it deserves space. And when you hide the parts of yourself that want to be seen, you're not protecting yourself. You're shrinking your own story. Being seen doesn't always mean being loud or performing. Sometimes it's just showing up as your real self, unfiltered, unpolished, and human. It could look like speaking up in that meeting, even though your voice shakes, or posting that piece of art or writing that you've been sitting on, or even simply being honest when someone asks you how you're really doing. There's a certain freedom that comes when you stop trying to curate how people perceive you and just be. And yeah, being seen, it can be uncomfortable at first. It's a kind of vulnerability that feels risky because what if they judge you? But here's what I've learned. The right people don't need you to perform. They just need you to be real. And your authenticity gives others permission to do the same. So with that, here's something to think about for this week. Where in your life have you been hiding parts of yourself? Not because you wanted to, but because it felt safer that way. And what would it look like to let a little more of the real you be seen? It doesn't have to be all at once. Maybe it's sharing your opinion in a small group, saying no when something doesn't align, or even allowing someone to really know you, flaws and all. So drop a comment and let me know what being seen looks like for you this week. Who knows? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Becoming comfortable with being seen isn't about spotlight or attention. It's about self-acceptance. It's reminding yourself that you don't have to hide to be safe, and you don't have to be perfect to be worthy of being witnessed. If this episode spoke to you, take a moment to follow, like, or subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this gentle reminder today or in their lives, period. Until then, always remember, this is Ketney, and you're watching Becoming with Ketney. Until next time, bye.